is Lukey Bolland reporting exclusively for EPWPerth.com. Thanks to our sponsors, Taylor Tyres, here at Reawakening 8, undoubtedly the biggest event in Australian wrestling for 2009. You can see the carnage that lays behind me from tonight's main event. We'll get to that in a moment. But let's talk about our first match of the evening. It was a #1 contenders match for the EPW Tag Team titles, featuring 4 teams: Dan Moore and Chase Griffin, Johnny Wimbledon and Chris Weiss, newcomer Adam Banks and his partner Alex Kingston, and the Schmidts, Barry and Gary Schmidt. This match, well, it was an unbelievable way to start the evening. All 4 teams so badly wanting to become the #1 contenders for the EPW Tag Team titles. In the end, though, it was Dan Moore turning his back on his partner Chase Griffin and nailing him from behind that eventually led to Chase Griffin copping a tombstone pile driver and eventually being pinned by Chris Weiss, making Chris Weiss and Johnny Wimbledon the new #1 contenders for the EPW Tag Team titles. Then next up in action was AZ Vegara taking on the man who was undefeated at Reawakening, Jimmy Payne. Undefeated at Reawakening. Jimmy Payne did everything he could, and just when it looked like he was going to put AZ Vegara away for good, out came a masked man with a kendo stick and whacked the hell out of Jimmy Payne, helping AZ Vegara score the victory. Afterwards, the masked man removed the mask to reveal himself as Nate Dooley.
Coming back to make Jimmy Payne's life a living hell, to make his blood cover this ring, and to scar him the way that he has scarred me.
Then came possibly the most mayhem of the evening in the form of KrackerJak's Battle Royal. It was a hardcore Battle Royal. The match featured Marcus Pitt, Gavin McGavin, James Edwards, Carl Steria, and Jerick Matthews.
Come on, what you want?
In the end, though, it came down to Marcus Pitt and KrackerJak, and just as it looked like KrackerJak was about to put Marcus Pitt over the top, back came Gavin McGavin, who eliminated both of them and picked up the win in the KrackerJak Battle Royal. And then came a grudge match between Devlin Reeves from the Blackest Hour and Jamie Jurah. We all know about the trouble with the Blackest Hour, of course, for Jamie Jurah over the last few months. Well, Jamie Jurah came out firing on all cylinders, so much so that he got himself disqualified almost straight away, handing the victory to Devlin Reeves.
Get up, Mike! Get the hell up!
Then came the final of the 2009 Invitational Tournament, featuring Davis Storm, Jay Taylor, Tyler Jacobs, and Damian Slater. 4 of the best wrestlers in Australia fighting it out for their chance to take home the Invitational Trophy and become the #1 contender for the EPW title. Now, I can't describe how much action took place in this match, so just take a look at this footage. The Iron Man Davis Storm getting his hand raised in victory, although I should point out a little bit of controversy there, as we saw Damian Slater in the background had just made JT tap out the moment the referee's hand dropped for 3, so Davis Storm was declared the winner, but I spoke to Damian Slater afterwards and he wasn't too pleased. I got a feeling we haven't heard the end of him on that one. Then up next, there's only one word that can describe the match that followed. Brutal. Richter, the EPW champion, representing the Blackest Hour, taking on Bobby Marshall. The gold was on the line in the last man standing match. The only way to win is to get your opponent down for the 10 count. If they cannot answer the 10 count, you were declared the winner. Now, Bobby Marshall and Richter, they started out ferociously, beating each other down on the outside. Richter got thrown across the announcer's table. Chair shots were exchanged, and let's just say things got a little bloody. If you're sensitive, if you've got a weak stomach, you don't want to watch this footage. Just as Bobby Marshall was about to have his hand raised in victory, out of nowhere came Jose Del Santo, wrapping a chair around the head of Bobby Marshall and helping Richter back to his feet, scoring Richter the victory and making him still the EPW champion. Then came a special challenge match. If Sebastian Sander wins, Brad West got 5 minutes alone to wrestle Gavin Miller from 96 FM. However, if Ferguson Block won, Brad West would be gone from EPW. In the end, it came down to the whiteboards. But just as it looked darkest for Ferguson Block, back he came with a whiteboard of his own around the head of Sebastian Sander, scoring a victory and sending Brad West packing from EPW. And then came our main event, which brings us to these mangled ladders you see behind me. The titles were hanging above the ring as Team Victoria, represented by Carlo Cannon and Slex, took on Team WA, represented by Shane Haste and Mikey Nicholls. But at the end of the day, the crowd, the sold-out crowd, was 100% behind Shane Haste and Mikey Nicholls, and it was them who reached up and grabbed those belts from above the ring and became the new EPW Tag Team Champions. This was a night for history. This was Reawakening 8, and if you weren't here, you need to slap yourself in the face, because you can't afford ever to miss a Reawakening. It is the biggest wrestling event of the Australian calendar. I'm going to see you next month, hopefully, at our Christmas Chaos show. Until then, keep checking back to EPWPerth.com for more details. My name's Lukey Bolland. I'll see you ringside.